There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? There's money everywhere. There's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino Is the Name. Hey, yo, what's going on right now? You're watching Casino Is the Name, and I am excited. I just got my new Galaxy S10 Plus, and I love this phone. I love it. I actually only bought it to use it as a camera because the front-facing camera shooting 10 megapixels at 4K. That's crazy. I'm actually not even shooting this right now in 4K. I'm shooting in 1080. But the point is, I have the capability. It is an amazing device, but I still use my Galaxy S8 Plus as my regular phone, as well as I have an iPhone 6, I believe. 7, I'm not even sure. It's just an iPhone, and I have an iPhone SE that I also used for vlogging just as a camera, but this is my primary phone, and this is now my new vlog camera for when I'm going places. It is very high quality video. Very happy with it. Anyway, let's get to this video. So I think I'm gonna have to start doing these videos every now and then because there's still a lot of the same questions over and over. Even though I've done this video previously on at least more than one other occasion, but people still seem to not find it. I guess maybe just need to do the new video first. I mean, do a new video, and then I guess it pops up better in the timeline or something like that on YouTube. I don't know. But basically, how do you get money from the trucking business? Okay, so there are a few things that you need to know, because there are people who have trucks, who have trailers, and they're hitting me up all the time saying, hey, now how do I get business? How do I get some money from the trucking business? And then once they actually pick up loads and deliver loads, a lot of people still do not know how to actually get the money, because the money doesn't pay as soon as you drop it. It's not usually like as soon as you drop the load, you don't get a check right then. Usually it's 30, 60, 90 days that the company will pay, or you have to use factoring. But even then, how do you get the money to actually start coming in? Because once you drop it off, you still have to submit paperwork. Do you have the paperwork ready to be submitted? Do you even know what the paperwork is? These are all questions that you guys are asking me all the time. So let's get to it. Okay, so a guy said he's out in California. He has a truck, he has a trailer, he has his own authority, he has his CDL, he's ready to get some money. He is ready to go, but he does not know how to get loads. Okay. Load boards. That's what I did. That's what most people do. We use load boards, but you can either use load boards, you can use a broker, or you can use a dispatcher. So the way this all works is, you can either pay to have access to certain load boards. So basically, companies will go onto certain load boards and they will post their jobs. So let's say 123 loads. I think it's 123 loads or 123 load board or something like that. But let's just say 123 load board, just as an example. That's a company that has a load board. I don't know exactly what the cost is per month, but let's say it's $50 a month. I'm just throwing a number out there. I don't know. Let's say it's $50 a month to have access to that load board. There's a company out there, or a lot of companies out there, like let's say Coyote. Coyote will go and post that load board onto 123 load board. They'll go post their load onto 123 load board, right? So it may say $1,000, and it needs this flatbed, 40-foot not gooseneck, but 40-foot flatbed. And it's going to be 20,000 pounds. And if your truck and trailer can handle that weight, you can see how much it costs. It'll tell you who the broker is. It has a phone number on there for the dispatch. You can call that number and say, hey, is this load still available? I'd like to book it. I have a truck. They ask you what your DOT number or your MC number is, so they can verify that you're legit, like you're legal to pick it up. You go. They'll dispatch it to you. You'll get an email. You go to wherever that load is. You pick it up. You go deliver it. and that's the end of that, right? So now you move on to the next. But you find that load through the load board. And another way to find loads is through a dispatcher. So a dispatcher, which is different from a broker, a dispatcher actually works for you. You hire them to find loads for you, and they may just have access to 100 load boards, and either they get a percentage or they get a flat rate usually. So that's kind of usually up to you, or you pay by the load. They might charge you $40 per load that they find for you. They may charge you a certain percentage, 3-5% of whatever the load is. They may just take a flat fee for the week for finding loads for you. So that's a dispatcher. They actually work for you. Now, a broker does not work for you. A broker is maybe somebody who has booked, like somebody's trying to ship something, they go through a broker. The broker is trying to find somebody who can deliver the load. So the broker may have told the person who's trying to ship it, I can get the ship for you for $5,000. And then they post a load paying out at $4,500 or something like that. So they'll make $500, and so they have a little spread there. And so they're just looking for somebody to move the load for them. And so that's kind of broker. So they don't work for you though. It's not like you work for them, but it's just different. Anyway, so that's like the 3 main ways that you find loads. Okay, now how do you get paid? Because now you have picked the load up, you found the load, you picked the load up, you delivered the load. How are you supposed to get paid? How does a company know when, what, how much to pay you, who to pay? What is your account numbers, whatever, right? So usually when you find a load, especially going through a broker, dispatcher, whatever, they have you fill out what's called a carrier packet. And that carrier packet will have your W-9, which is like, for you being a contractor. It'll have like a bunch of forms that you got to fill out, and it tells all your insurance information and all that kind of stuff. You send them a copy of your insurance, you make them a certificate holder of your insurance, all kind of stuff. Anyway, so you do all of this stuff, this carrier packet, and I've had to do a lot of them. Like, you have to do them just about for every broker or company that you're going to pick up loads and drop off loads for. And I've done a lot of them. Trust me, there's a lot of them. They're really simple. They're really quick to do, but it can be like when you're filling out like 15 carrier packets. Yeah, imagine. Okay, it's not, it can be somewhat time consuming when you're filling out that many, but once you're set up though, you're good, right? Okay, so you fill out these carrier packets. Once you fill out the carrier packets, you send the stuff back. They then dispatch the load to you, or you're already set up in the system, because once you're set up, you don't have to fill out carrier packets no more. It's great. Believe me, it's good to be set up, and you just call and say, hey, dispatch that load to me. You got me in your system. Let's get this money. So now you get the load board, and you find the load, or the dispatcher sends you the load or whatever, or the broker calls you directly and say, hey, can you pick this up? Either one of those 3. Either way, you get the load, you go pick up the load. When you get there to pick up the load, they should give you a release form saying that they have released the load to you in whatever condition or whatever the material is. Well, actually, you more than likely you'll need a pickup order, and that would usually come on the email once they dispatch the load to you. It's a bunch of 4-wheelers and stuff going on, and dirt bikes riding around over here. I don't know what's going on, but it looks fun. But anyway, so they will send you a dispatch order. You take that, and when you go to pick up the load, they verify that you're the person supposed to be picking it up through the dispatch order that you got in your email. So they dispatch the load to you. When they dispatch the load to you, they'll give you a release form saying that you've taken possession of the load, and they should also give you a BOL. Remember this. This is important. They should give you a BOL, bill of lading, for the shipper to sign. The receiver to sign. So the shipper gives you the release and also a BOL. You should have a BOL. If you don't, make sure your driver has their own BOLs and they fill them out, or you fill them out and send them to your driver or whatever, because this is very important. Now, once your driver gets to the destination and releases the let's say it's steel coils or something like that. So it's 10,000 pounds of steel coil. When your driver delivers those 10,000 pounds of steel coil, they'll sign, the receiver will sign saying that they received it, date, time, whatever, however you want to do that, but they need to sign saying that they received it, right? And that needs to go on the BOL, okay? The bill of lading, okay? You need to get that done, right? So now, guess what? The job isn't done. Just because you got the BOL, now yes, you have proof that the item was delivered and received by the other party, right? But now you need to invoice, well, technically you need to invoice whoever your release paperwork says that you need to invoice, because it'll usually say send invoice to this email or fax it to this person or this company or whoever, and that is the person who would then in turn pay you. And or if you have a factoring company, your factoring company, you sign up with a factoring company is going to charge you 3 to 5% or 8%. I don't know what they charge you, but they'll be based off of whatever they have worked out with you. But a factoring company is pretty much like a company that will they'll basically give you the money for the job that you just did, but they'll give it to you up front instead of you having to wait 30, 60, 90 days. This works because, let's say if you're a small company and, you know, if it's going to take you 60 days, 90 days to get paid by a company, a lot of people will have a hard time paying for gas, paying employees, paying truck fees, paying notes, paying for maintenance, paying a lot of things if they do not have funds. And it can be very expensive maintaining a truck month in, month out for months, waiting on the first delivery. So you go through a factoring company gives you the money up front. They can usually have it in your account by that night. As long as you submit the BOL, the invoice, and all the paperwork, and also the invoice is saying, okay, now that this is delivered, the invoice is saying, okay, this is owed to me by this company. And so you can just look up a trucking invoice. It's self-explanatory, but you still need to create an invoice. The BOL is usually not enough alone. You then need to create an invoice for you to be, to receive money. But you can't, even with the created invoice, you still need the BOL showing that you delivered it and signed. So anyway, that is how you get paid. And the factoring company, you can send that information once you sign up with a factoring company. You can send that information. I use OTR Capital, by the way, but you can send that information to the factoring company, upload the documents online. They'll usually pay you within 24 hours. So if you did it right, you may even be paid by 6 or 7 o'clock that night after you delivered the load. If you got all your stuff in and they were able to get it processed, you could probably even get paid by that night, where it's already sent out for payment, and you'll get it either in your account that night or you'll get it in the morning, which is great. That is great. Trust me, it's good. It's good to have money as soon as you deliver something. There are people who are still waiting 2-3 months, and they're still trying to figure out how they get the money. They've done 30 drop-offs and they still don't know how to get the money out. So that's what this video is about. Just trying to help you guys get your money. Anyway, subscribe to Casino Is a Name, and I will drop these videos from time to time, just to, for anybody who might have missed a previous video. Anyway, right now you're watching Casino Is a Name, man. I'm out. On the way we grew up, the environment we was in, the mentality we had, and then to change my life and all my accomplishments, all of the countries, all of the countless cities I've been to. And I even surprised myself. You gotta understand, this wasn't even something I could have dreamed. How could you want something you didn't know exists? You gotta think. I ain't know nobody who did what I did, who lived the way I lived. I've been around the world so many times by myself, I didn't even know how to communicate with people where I'm from. I went from hustling in the projects in Tallahassee to exploring castles in Europe. partnered with Italians. I made money in Germany. Still only got stabbed in the back by people I cared about. So instead of being surrounded by snakes, I'd rather sit in my mansion alone. There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? There's money everywhere. There's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino Is the Name.